Saturday, afternoon showers. High 88. Winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome to Weather Center Live. It is March 20th. That means spring begins today. It'll be the first day of spring.
It does begin today. However,
Yes.
the Northeast just can't shake winter. Winter weather is going to be the big story today. In fact, 35 million people will be dealing with some sort of winter weather, at least the threat of that winter weather.
Yeah, it is a wet, mushy snow here across much of the middle Atlantic and into the Northeast. So, D.C. on up into Philly, New York, kind of in that wintry mix at the moment.
That's what we're looking at. On the right is where that snow is coming down. That's in the blue, and there's still some areas where you're seeing some green. And on the left, that's how much additional snow expected with this, and we are tracking it and timing it out for you.
And meteorologist Mike Seidel is in Hagerstown, Maryland. Maryland, that's about an hour or so northwest of D.C., and it has been kind of a wet, heavy, like slushy type of snowfall this morning, right, Mike?
Yes, indeed. We've got 3 inches. I just measured it. Thing about this kind of snow this time of the year, when it's this mild, relatively speaking, the roads are fine. This is I-81. Traffic left to right is heading northbound into Pennsylvania. The Mason-Dixon line just 9 miles up the road. Temperature up to 34. So that and the sun angle helping things out. Let's bring in Tamara Watson from Martinsburg, West Virginia, who drove into work here at the Hampton Inn. How were the roads this morning? What time did you come in first?
I got here about 8:30 this morning.
So you came in after sunrise.
Yes.
And how was the driving?
The driving was pretty good. I did see one small little fender bender on the way up the road, but other than that, it was great.
Now, you work here at the Hampton Inn, Director of Sales and Marketing. Tell us about the ebb and flow of reservations when you have a storm coming in.
Well, we do get cancellations, but they kind of get made up when people decide they ventured out onto the road and decided, well, they just can't make it, so they see the hotel or call ahead and come in and stay overnight because they don't want to travel in the snow after all.
Get that Hampton Inn breakfast.
That's right. It's great.
Okay,
Great
personally,
breakfast.
on a personal note, how do you feel about winter now that we're heading to the first hours of spring this evening? What's your take? What are you looking forward to?
Spring flowers and lots of sunshine.
Well, we're going to do the sunshine for you tomorrow, right, Chris? We're going to warm it up tomorrow to about 60 here, melt this snow.
No, Mike, it's
Samantha.
Samantha. And your guest there, I love the way she's in the pink. She is ready for spring. For sure. She's in the pink.
Yes, you love the pink. She loves the pink. She loves the pink.
In honor of the first day of spring.
Well, thank you so much. I like where your head's at. I like what you're thinking. So let's talk about how things are going to be shaping up in Hagerstown as we head into the next few hours, seeing that snow still, probably until about an hour or so after lunch, and then getting into that afternoon commute. It should start that transition over into rain, and then we'll have a few mixed in flurries before things start to clear out. And then, of course, during the evening hours, we're concerned about the fog that could be forming and settling in during the late evening. So north of D.C. here, Chesapeake Bay around the edges, we could see an inch in Chestertown still into Edgewood, another couple of inches, Manchester possibly through tomorrow evening. So not a huge snow event, Mike, and not all that uncommon for the first day of spring. But, Chris and Greg, we are going to be dealing with this wintry weather as we head into this first weekend of spring.
Yeah, and now it is time for expert analysis with Dr. Greg Poso going into the first full weekend of spring once spring finally arrives a little bit later today. There will be some snow in some areas. Other areas where it was snow turns to rain, and that's really going to be the question. What you're looking at now is, What are we getting now? What are we getting later? And if that changeover is going to happen?
Yeah, we'll see the changeover across parts of the mid-Atlantic, D.C., for example. But farther to the north in New York, it'll probably be all snow. Let's look at how much we expect across the region today. We have through Saturday p.m., but this is largely going to occur this afternoon and this evening. There may be some snow showers coming in over the weekend, but that really won't be much. This is, again, largely with Winter Storm Ultima. There's the 3 to 5 zone across Pennsylvania and New York. And notice D.C., no accumulation there. How about that? And here's why. Let's look at the maps going into the D.C. area. Temperatures in the mid-30s. And when it's snowing in the mid-30s, it's not going to accumulate much unless it's coming down really, really hard.
But you can still see some snowflakes in
absolutely.
the air. It's going to be snowing. It's just not going to be accumulating.
Yes, that's exactly right. And all you need is a little bit of elevation getting away from D.C. to the northwest, central Maryland. Obviously, in western Maryland, we know it's coming down and accumulating there. But in the district, it's not. And I can use this radar analysis to show you where the rain-snow mix is. And here's D.C., and what we're looking at is what's called correlation coefficient. And that's just giving you an idea of the shape of the particles that are coming down. So where it's all red, that means there's kind of nearly a uniform shape up in this zone, and that is largely snow. But what we're seeing here is when you have that yellow right mix, that right in there, that's telling you that you're getting some irregularly shaped particles coming down from the sky. That is the rain-snow mix. So you've got the snow up here, and then the rain-snow line kind of getting very close to D.C., if not moving through parts of the area just to its southeast, like Annapolis.
What would the snow look like on this if it was straight snow?
It would be all red. It would be this color right up in there.
So it's more about what's the difference.
Yes.
Is it uniform or different, and then you have to decide which it is, correct?
That's exactly right. You'd match this up with the radar that we just showed, which had snow across northern Maryland. And there you go. You can see farther to the north in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, it's all snow. So if we were to do that correlation coefficient map, it would be all red in this zone. We don't have to worry about the rain-snow mix here. We're looking at, in some cases, moderate snow coming down across Pennsylvania.
And is all of this snow reaching the ground, do you think?
Not all of it. A lot of it in Pennsylvania is, but as you go farther to the northeast, say, for example, across parts of northern New Jersey and southeastern New York State, New York, it is not hitting the ground. And here is why, because it is so dry with a relative humidity there, 33%, not snowing there. It's snowing aloft, it's just not hitting the ground, Chris. It's called Virga, and that's what we're going to be seeing, I think, for a couple more hours. But it will fill in as we go through the afternoon hours. You can see that the snow goes across parts of New Jersey and New York State and southern New England today, and then it'll continue on moving through the region overnight tonight, winding down by about 8 or 9 o'clock as the whole system Ultima moves on out to sea ultimately. How about that?
Dr. Postel, thank you very much. Sure. Back to Samantha.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Where our live coverage of Winter Storm Ultima moves north to Philadelphia. And snow this late in the season, not all that unusual. Philly's daily snowfall record for today, March 20th, is 9.6 inches. Can you imagine that kind of a load of snow coming down? But what about Ultima coming up? The forecast amount for Philadelphia today and how long the snow will last.
良質熟練の技革新1000年の歴史を持つ文化が最先端の製造技術を使うと待てよあれこれってクライスラー
Reliability is now an American thing. Introducing the all-new Chrysler 200, America's import. Find it at Chrysler.com.
No one thinks they're going to be in an accident, which is why no one wants insurance. So we go cheap, you know, because we're never gonna need it. Until one day, we do. Now that cut rate policy is costing us big. Makes you wonder if there's something better out there. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
The wizarding world of Harry Potter, now with Diagon Alley and the Hogwarts Express. Come and live it. Universal Orlando Resort.
If your car's side glass gets broken, trust Safelite. Safelite has more glass in stock than anyone, and we'll get you back on your way fast.
Thank you so much. Good as new.
That's another Safelite advantage.
Safelite repair, Safelite replace.
Yeah, we're gonna
World #1, Rory McIlroy.
And the PGA Tour's biggest stars take center stage in the King's backyard. The Arnold Palmer Invitational, presented by MasterCard. Today at 1 p.m. Eastern on Golf Channel.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, lots of sunshine. High 89. Winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, generally clear. Low 69. Winds south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday, afternoon showers. High 88. Winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
This Sunday,
one man's trash.
This is perfect.
Is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier.
Brainstormers, premiering Sunday, March 22nd, only on the Weather Channel.
Sometimes the best used car on the road is the one you're still using. Right now, get a standard brake service for $89.99 after a $20 online rebate at Firestone Complete Auto Care. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
Are you missing out on life because you're putting off neck or back surgery? Call Laser Spine Institute, the leader in minimally invasive spine surgery, to learn how a less than 1-inch incision can have you up and walking within a few hours of surgery, free from chronic back pain, and with no hospital stay and no lengthy recovery. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with spinal stenosis, bulging or herniated disc, sciatica, or other chronic conditions, call today for your MRI review.
There were times my boss would send me home because I was in excruciating pain. Going to Laser Spine Institute, I go in, I have the procedure, and walk out a changed person, good to go back to work. I can't tell you how much happier I am. It's changed my life completely.
If you've been told you might need neck or back surgery, call 1-855-450-BACK for your MRI review.
Laser Spine Institute, a less than 1-inch incision, a lifetime of standing tall.
And right now, it's hard to see, barely see, but this should be a look at Philadelphia right now. Good morning to you. Seeing some of that snow starting to fall.
Yeah, Philadelphia, you can see as much as 5 inches of snow tapering off right around tonight's rush hour. And it is just a mess out there on this first day of spring. Of course, spring isn't officially here. It'll be tapering off about the time spring arrives, though, 6:45.
That's appropriate.
So it's very appropriate. And they can all have welcome spring parties after they get home from work or they get to their local watering hole, Chris.
And because of the snow that was expected and what's coming down right now, hundreds of flights canceled in and out of the United States this morning, including dozens in Philadelphia.
Yeah, winter storm Ultima also causing school closures here on this first day of spring and delays in the Philadelphia area. Our Scott Newell is there. And Scott, how much snow do you see coming down right now? It looks pretty thick around you.
It's coming down as heavy as it's come down today. This is about as heavy as it gets. We're in front of the Philadelphia Mint, by the way. And you can see we've got a little bit here on the ground. Not too bad, sticking a bit. I don't know, about an inch, I think, right there now, maybe a little bit less than that. But if you look at the sidewalk here, which has not been treated because the ground here is fairly warm because it's been warm weather here for the last couple of weeks, it's doing pretty well. And the streets are doing pretty well, too. That's good news for motorists. Let's take a look at the radar, and you can see what it looks like. You can see that whole area of blue that's right above us here and to the northwest. And then if you look to the southeast, that area is not getting much frozen precipitation. It's mostly rain, and that's the way it's going to stay pretty much all the day. And the one thing that we want to make sure to tell everybody about is that there are some schools that are closing early today because, as you can see, this is going to make travel treacherous a little bit later on in the day, and they're planning ahead for that. The people here getting to work, making sure they're getting to work safely, being careful about the streets, but the snow is coming down here. And a lot of people in Philadelphia, you know, we get another blast of winter weather, and quite frankly, a lot of people are sick of it, including a woman I talked to a little earlier and her name is Marty Jones.
I'm sick of it. I want it gone. I want summer. I don't want any more snow. I hate snow. We really haven't had that much snow, but it's just been cold and nasty. And I've had enough winter. I mean, we've paid our dues. Now I want summer. I want birds. I want green trees. I want to run around in flip-flops.
And I just wanted to show you a little bit of what they make there at the Philadelphia Mint. If you see a P on your coin, that means it was minted in Philadelphia. Chris, Samantha, back to you.
That's a fun fact. That is so cool. I love visiting the mints. It's really neat. Okay, at the airport, some problems, though. Probably some disgruntled travelers who need to get to where they want to go, and they had to de-ice this morning. I understand limited visibility still near the airport. I guess there's going to be some air travel troubles yet today. Right, Scott?
I think we've counted about 65 flights that have been canceled at Philadelphia. Also, there's about a 15 to 20 minute delay. So if you are planning on picking somebody up or heading out to the airport, make sure to call ahead on that. Very important.
Okay.
All right, Scott Newell, thank you very
so
much.
Wow.
We see that snow really coming down. Now, if you live in New York, get ready for some of that. We are continuing our coverage here of Winter Storm Ultima as it moves into New York City.
Yeah, it is headed in your direction. And, you know, today's daily snowfall record for March 20th in New York is 4.7 inches. That was set way back in 1958, many, many moons ago.
And so that's the big question. Are we going to get that? We are looking at inches of snow throughout parts of the Northeast, including right here in New York. And watching the sky, it's going to appear to get lower and lower before that snow starts to come down. Or in fact, not all of that snow that we are seeing right now on the radar is not making it to the ground. We're going to explain why, and we're going to let you know our best chance for seeing that snow start to pile up here in New York City.
Fiber One now makes cookies. Find them in the cookie aisle.
Oh, man. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're covered, Harry.
You got to do it like this. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, George. Hey, Jim. State Farm agents are there whenever you need them.
It took James Dyson 5,000 prototypes to invent the bagless vacuum. And another 10,000 to invent the only vacuum that doesn't lose suction. Thanks to patented sonic tips. Everything else is history. Search Kinetic now.
My Tempur-Pedic made me fall in love with mornings again.
And I love how it conforms to my body. With Tempur-Pedic, the whole bed is comfortable.
The best thing we ever did for ourselves is helping to keep us young.
Visit your local retailer and feel the Tempur-Pedic difference for yourself.
You know those neighbors always making weird inventions out of junk in their garage? We just gave them their own TV show.
Come on, Wind.
I think I just made Mother Nature my bitch.
One man's trash
This is perfect.
is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier.
Brainstormers, premiering Sunday at 9.
When it comes to Medicare, everyone talks about what happens when you turn 65. But really, it's what you do before that counts. See, Medicare doesn't cover everything, only about 80% of Part B medical costs. The rest is on you.
Consider an AARP Medicare Supplement Insurance Plan insured by United Healthcare Insurance Company. Like all standardized Medicare Supplement Insurance plans, it could really save you in out-of-pocket medical costs. So call now and request this free decision guide. Discover how an AARP Medicare Supplement plan could go long for you.
Do you want to choose your doctors? Avoid networks. What about referrals?
All plans like these let you visit any doctor or hospital that accepts Medicare patients, with no networks and virtually no referrals needed. So call now, request your free guide, and explore the range of AARP Medicare supplement plans.
65 may get all the attention. But now is a good time to start thinking about how you want things to be.
Go long.
You just never know what's going to happen.
Stay tuned for your first day of spring, local on the 8th. Brought to you by Lowe's. Never stop improving.
Lowe's presents How to Make a Friend Speak When She's Speechless.
Wow, Kim, I'm speechless. Your new bathroom looks so beautiful, I can't even talk right now. I literally can't even open my mouth to talk.
Now get the Style Selections Drayton Vanity for $179 at Lowe's.
The open road. It takes on many forms. From the scenic highways to the rugged trails. From the sand-covered to the well-traveled. They lead us to the beauty of nature and the beauty of simple pleasures. The open road is alive and well and waiting to take us to Pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.org.
Lowe's presents how to install a new washing machine with one finger.
Maybe a little more that way.
Nice.
Now get 10% off major appliances $3.99 and more at Lowe's.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees under fair skies. Today, lots of sunshine. High 89. Winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, generally clear. Low 69. Winds south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday, afternoon showers. High 88. Winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Well, good morning, New York City. Winter's last blast with 35 million of us under winter storm alerts right now, including here in the Big Apple until the overnight hours. So we have the snow moving through here and around noon and coming down heavy at times. We could see as much as 5 inches falling from Altima with temperatures just above freezing. And Altima, meaning getting its root from ultimate, like the last storm. Well, we know it's going to be the last storm of winter because winter ends today at 6:45 p.m. and not a minute too soon for many here in the New York City area. So very cold tonight, near freezing. And again, a chilly start as we head into the morning on Saturday morning and Sunday morning. But the daytime high is getting up pretty comfortable here tomorrow, pretty close to average in New York City as we head into the afternoon on Saturday afternoon. So you just have to get through today as far as this first cold air that'll be moving through today, and then it's going to move out, and we'll see a little bit of kind of rebounding as we head into the beginning of the weekend, and then another cold plunge arrives on Sunday. Not quite as cold as this one, but definitely reinforcing cold air moving in. So even though it is the first weekend of spring, I think it's going to end on a pretty chilly note because temperatures well below average today, that's for sure. Getting into tomorrow, we're about close to average across much of New England. New York will be one of those spots, making it to 50. And then as we head into Sunday, we'll end up seeing those cool temperatures again, as much as 23 degrees below average here in Bangor, Maine. And this northeast chill continuing to settle in those morning hours. I think that's really when you're going to feel it. If you're taking a jog out there in Central Park, you'll definitely feel the chill. And then Sunday, those temperatures, again, very chilly. And Monday, too. So those nighttime temperatures really not recovering here at all. So all this cold air and all the snow causing problems with travel here, especially in northern New England, but all across the Northeast, right, Chris?
That's right. We're dealing with travel delays, and it's not just travel delays in the Northeast, but getting to the Northeast. What you're going to notice right here, a couple of different colored dots that aren't green, and it's the orange and the red that we're dealing with. When you see Newark, that's one of the red ones right there. It's the red one. Traffic or airplanes are being delayed getting to Newark. So if you're trying to get to New Jersey, New York City, getting there could be a big problem. In fact, here it is, Newark, we're looking at delays of almost 4 hours, and that's getting to Newark. There's also delays at Newark trying to get out of town, but that's in minutes, not hours. So that's going to be your big problem, is trying to get into and occasionally out of the Northeast because of the snow and the ice. Let's take a look right now, a live look at the roads this morning. And as we take a look, you're looking on the left at Philadelphia and on the right, Washington, D.C. And we do know that snow has been coming down. However, because today eventually will be the first day of spring. Spring arrives later. That sun angle, an angle is huge. It warms up the ground much more than you have in the middle of winter when the angle of the sun brings much weaker radiation to Earth. So even though we look at the roads, they don't look to be doing too bad, and you can have snow coming down. Now, not expecting any accumulating snow in Washington, D.C., but we saw with Scott Newell in Philadelphia.
Wow.
That snow really is coming down, Samantha.
Yeah, it's going to stick somewhere. That is for sure. Thank you so much. And, Winter Storm Altima, here we are on the last day of winter, and it is crashing the spring parties with snow on the East Coast. When you take a look at the latest measurable snowfall date for D.C., it's all the way up to April 28th. They've had measurable snow there in the D.C. area, Chris.
Yeah, but on average, this should be when it's coming to an end in Washington, D.C. As we look live right now, you can see the Washington Monument, and visibility's down quite a bit.
Absolutely. It is not going to be the nicest of afternoons there. And those cherry blossoms, they're just dying to come out and say hello.
We're going to time out your chances for snow from areas D.C. north coming up.
After a trip to AutoZone for parts and advice, Bernie and Jose were ready to tackle their brake job. This made Bernie and Jose feel like they could muscle through anything. It's called The Zone, and we'll help get you there. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Never a good day for a bad battery. Get a Duralast battery, only at AutoZone.
Oh, man. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're covered, Harry.
You got to do it like this. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, George. Hey, Jim. State Farm agents are there whenever you need them.
Nice morning, Scott.
Hi. At a morning of tiny voices crying out, feed us.
I don't understand.
Your grass, man. It's a living, breathing thing. It's hungry, and you've got to feed it with Scott's Turf Builder. Attaboy, Mikey. 2 feedings now in the springtime. Strengthens and helps protect your lawn from future problems. Get Scott's Turf Builder lawn food. It's guaranteed. Feed your lawn. Feed it.
And to keep crabgrass away all season long, get Scott's Turf Builder with Halt's Crabgrass Preventer.
Approaching Medicare eligibility? You may think you can put off checking out your Medicare options until you're 65. But now is a good time to get the ball rolling. Keep in mind, Medicare only covers about 80% of Part B medical costs. The rest is up to you. That's where AARP Medicare Supplement Insurance Plans, insured by United Healthcare Insurance Company, come in. Like all standardized Medicare supplement insurance plans, they could help pay some of what Medicare doesn't, saving you in out-of-pocket medical costs. You've learned that taking informed steps along the way really makes a difference later. That's what it means to go long. Call now and request this free decision guide. It's full of information on Medicare and the range of AARP Medicare supplement plans to choose from, based on your needs and budget. All plans like these let you choose any doctor or hospital that accepts Medicare patients, and there are no network restrictions. United Healthcare Insurance Company has over 30 years' experience and the commitment to roll along with you, keeping you on course. So call now and discover how an AARP Medicare supplement plan could go long for you. These are the only Medicare supplement insurance plans endorsed by AARP, an organization serving the needs of people 50 and over for generations. Plus, 9 out of 10 plan members surveyed say they would recommend their plan to a friend. Remember, Medicare doesn't cover everything. The rest is up to you. Call now. Request your free decision guide and start gathering the information you need to help you keep rolling with confidence. Go long.
You know those neighbors always making weird inventions out of junk in their garage? We just gave them their own TV show.
Come on, Wind.
I think I just made Mother Nature my bitch.
One man's trash.
This is perfect.
Is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier.
Brainstormers, premiering Sunday at 9, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees under fair skies. Today, lots of sunshine. High 89. Winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, generally clear. Low 69. Winds south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday, afternoon showers. High 88. Winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Monday, the brightest kids in America compete in the nation's premier science fair. Sam Champion is live from the White House, Monday on AMHQ.
Right now on Weather Center Live, tracking a winter storm right now as it's moving into and through the Northeast right now. Live look at Washington, D.C. on the left, and then the radar where the snow's coming down in blue, and how much snow is expected.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to see some pretty decent amounts, especially on the northwest side of Philadelphia, and then stretching on up towards New York City. A little drier up there, so we're probably not going to get as much in the way of accumulations as we are expecting to see here in the Philadelphia area and the suburbs, especially off to the north and the west.
Spring officially arrives on the East Coast a little bit later this evening, but it is winter weather with winter weather alerts people are dealing with across parts of Pennsylvania, Maryland right now, and into some of the other big cities in the Northeast.
A lot of people are going to be feeling this one. In fact, let's take you into Hagerstown, Maryland, where there is a winter storm warning in place into the early afternoon hours. That is where Mike Seidel is right now, and it looks like a very wet rain-snow mix. The snow is falling off the pine trees, the boughs behind you, Mike. It's kind of a nasty day out there for the last day of winter. Very appropriate.
Yeah, very few hours remaining in the winter. We can say goodbye with that. And for a lot of folks, including Boston, they're saying we're done. We're over with. Yes, now that we've gotten up to 34, the snow is dripping off the limbs here. Whether a little buds showing up, that's a good thing. A little later up here than down south in my backyard in Atlanta. Snow still on the windshields this morning. My gosh, are we tired of doing this? At least it's an easy chore today. You just push it like this and boom, it just slides right off. And look at that. I love it when it does that. No work involved. Boom, into the street. Hey, let me show you what's going on as far as Colesville, Maryland. These are pictures, videos sent in. This is just north of the Beltway in Montgomery County, going out towards Damascus, 270, Wheaton, those areas, north of College Park. In those areas, you get away from the Beltway and you get out away from that urban heat island. So you can see the roads are wet, but you can see also on either side that it's certainly sticking on the grassy surfaces, much like we've seen here in Hagerstown. Radar. Notice that we're just about done with the heavier snow. It's very light right now. It is still all snow. It's all moving northeast into the Poconos. I think the highest numbers will probably come in from the Poconos this time around. Guys?
I bet there'll be some pretty pictures coming out of there on this last day of winter. If anyone wants to send them here to us at Samantha Moore TV or at TWC Chris Warren, we'd love to see them. And I'm sure Seidel would like to see them as well. But, you know, this probably isn't going to last too long. I mean, it's not going to stick around because it's going to be warming up as we head into the weekend.
And just looking at what we're expecting as far as accumulating snow, much like what you saw with Mike, how the roads were still looking wet. It's just been too warm. However, that snow will be falling from the sky, and we are going to be seeing some accumulation around Baltimore, about an inch. You get some of the outlying areas, maybe a couple of inches.
So winter is still holding on tight here, and in Hagerstown, we're definitely going to see that wintry mix continue like Mike is standing in right now, and then it looks like a foggy start to the day on Saturday, and then Sunday, just hang on in there. It looks like Sunday's going to be delightful, and Mike Seidel, he is there on this last day of winter, and I'll tell you what, you are wrapping up this season in a very cool and chilly way.
Yes, and this doesn't mean it won't snow again. Many spots in the Northeast have had accumulating snow into April. I think most people will say let's not deal with that, but it can happen, especially in New England and away from the coast and the higher elevations. We still have a little bit of slush. It's hard to see on the asphalt, but it certainly has, a lot of this is melted off. High sun angle, what we call black body, the albedo. It just soaks it right up and melts the snow, and that's the same out here on Interstate 81. Traffic is heading northbound up towards the Harrisburg, Pennsylvania area on Interstate 81. And we've had really no major issues out there today because of the temperature staying above freezing. We dropped down to 33, and now we're up to 34 degrees. So it's gloppy and wet out here. It's the kind of snow that you just don't brush off. It kind of melts on the old LL Bean jacket, and you go in and you towel off. Samantha?
Yeah, you towel off and you just slide the snow right off the cars. No scraping required today. So that's some good news. Thank you so much, Mike. Appreciate that.
All right, so we saw the snow coming down with Mike right now. Earlier, we did see some snow coming down in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
We want to check and see if it's still coming down as hard as it was a little bit earlier, and that's where we find Scott Newell. He is in Philly right now. And Scott, how's the snow been for you? It looks like it's still going pretty good here.
Yeah, it's still going pretty good indeed. We are at Independence Hall. You can barely see it back there. That's how much snow there is here. On Independence Mall, the snow is falling. And let's take a look at the surface here. You can see how much is accumulated. It's really wet, packable snow. I would say about an inch right here. It's sticking on the grassy surfaces, but let's go up to the sidewalk here. Now, these sidewalks have not been treated. So this is what pavement will look like, even though it hasn't been treated. And, of course, PennDOT has treated a lot of the roads here with brine. And so then we're going to get a little closer here to the traffic going by. And as you can see, the roads are clear. Everything's fine. Just like you were talking about with the roads in some of the other areas, it's been warm here for the last couple of weeks, and so things are melting quite well. Now, the difficulty is going to be a little bit later on today. Obviously, visibility right now, not all that great, so you have to be careful driving. But later on during the evening rush, it is possible that there's going to be freezing rain because the temperatures are going to go up. Some of this is going to change to rain. Areas to the north and west of us here are going to get more snow. To the south and east, it's going to be pretty much rain. So you got to be careful, keep your eye on conditions, and drive accordingly. Back to you, Chris and Samantha.
Scott Newell in Philadelphia, thank you so much for bringing us that wintry scene on this last day of winter / first day of spring, because spring begins at 6:45.
It does, and we want to talk about that snowy side of things here as spring arrives today. Dr. Greg Postel is keeping an eye on what we're thinking is going to fall from the sky in the Northeast.
A few inches at least. Philly probably close to 3, maybe a little bit more than that. Let's go to the map and show you how much we expect to fall across Pennsylvania, New Jersey, southeastern New York State, and there, pick your favorite spot on the map. D.C., out of it. You're not going to get any snow. It's already a mixture of rain and snow now, and you can see that on the observations all the way down here, guys. Look, we're seeing the rain, snow mix, even at Dulles now at 34, D.C. 37. That's not going to get you an accumulation. I want to draw our attention to this line right in here. This is the rain snow line. You can also see it on another radar perspective. This is called the correlation coefficient, which is a radar basically just measuring you the shape of the precipitation particles. And where it's all red, that means the shape is nearly uniform, kind of circular, like a rain or a snow flake, where it's symmetrical in all directions. But we've got this odd color right in there, the yellows, that's where you have those weird shapes in there, and that's typically a mixture of rain and snow. So that's what we're seeing across that region, that's telling us that is where the rain snow line is, and that is going to be moving northward over the next couple of hours. I'll move it to the east, and you can see that rain snow line there, right in here. So here, it's snow, here it's rain, and right where you have that odd color in there, that tells you exactly where the rain snow line is. So that's probably the best way to do it, rather than looking at a radar and looking for where it thinks according to the reflectivities here, where it thinks the rain snow line is. That's a better way to do it.
In that case, was it showing you the changeover to rain? Because you're watching that line move to the north.
That's right. You're going from snow, which are sort of symmetrical little objects coming down, to this mixture of rain and snow where it could be oblong-shaped things coming down, and then back to rain.
Back to symmetrical again. So it's that transition zone that looks unusually shaped.
That's exactly
right. That's exactly where it's transitioning over. Interesting stuff.
Yeah, and up farther to the north, I'm not sure Philly's going to turn over, although it is 33 degrees and moderate snow across the region. We'll just have to wait and see if indeed it is going to eventually turn over to rain in Philly. But a few inches there coming your way. In New York, not snowing yet because it's so dry. but just wait a couple hours, it'll snow.
Just wait. It is coming. Thank you so much, Greg Postel. And after, a wicked winter already, Boston's snowiest season on record continues into spring.
And just to put this in perspective, your last measurable snowfall on record is in May.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under fair skies. Today, lots of sunshine. High 89. Winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, generally clear. Low 69. Winds south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday, afternoon showers. High 88. Winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Think fixing your windshield is a big hassle? Not with SafeLight. This family needed their windshield replaced, but their daughter's heart was set on going to the zoo. So we said, if you need SafeLight to come to the zoo, we'll come to the zoo. Oh yeah, we can fix that. Only SafeLight can fix your windshield anywhere in the U.S. with our exclusive mobile glass shops and our one-of-a-kind TrueSeal technology for a reliable bond.
Thanks so much.
Service that fits your schedule. Hey. That's another SafeLight advantage.
SafeLight repair, SafeLight replace.
You've been part of the family for as long as I can remember, and you just mean so much to all of us. The holidays wouldn't be the same without your crescent rolls. We got you a little something.
We got you jeans.
It's about time. Piping hot Pillsbury crescent rolls make Easter pop.
Protecting your home is a priority for every homeowner. You can rest easy knowing your home's protected with a monitored home security system. Mike Melton, an expert in home security, joins us now with some important details. Welcome, Mike.
Thank you for having me on. When you turn on the news, you see that there's a lot of home burglaries. Here's an interesting fact. The FBI reported over 2 million burglaries last year alone. The shocking thing is most of these burglaries are daytime.
That is a shocking statistic, and you'd think that alone would get people thinking about a security system.
And right now, they are. There's many benefits to getting a security system. First off, you're 3 times less likely to have your home broken into just by having a security system. You get 24/7 monitoring for burglar, fire, and medical emergencies. And there's also savings. There's AARP discounts, and you also get to save up to 20% every year on your homeowner's insurance.
So what do people need to do to protect their home with a security system?
It's easy. All you have to do is give us a call. Right now we're giving away a free complete home security system package. It's the new wireless home security system, which means no more ugly holes in your walls or exposed wiring. It's a comprehensive package that we include for you, free of charge. Now the monitoring is done by ADT. ADT is the #1 monitoring company in the country. All you pay is $99 down for the installation and the monitoring, which is only about $1 a day.
And I understand you have something special for the viewers at home.
The next 20 people that call us and order a security system are going to receive a $100 Visa gift card. So we basically pay you $1 to get your home protected. Now is the best time to protect your home and your family. Give us a call right now. We have security advisors standing by to take your call. They'll walk you through everything right over the phone. We're usually able to do next day installations to help you protect your home as soon as possible. Call 1-877-827-9028. That's 1-877-827-9028.
Who needs a witness when you set the world in motion? The full line of Ram ProMaster vans and the all-new Ram ProMaster City. Purpose-built to help you run the town. Ram.
You know, I tried one of those bargain paper towels, but I had to use so many sheets per spill, the roll just disappeared. I knew
knew I should have bought Bounty. Bounty is 2 times more absorbent and strong when wet. Just look how much longer Bounty lasts versus one of those bargain brand towels. And that's a good deal. Bounty, the long-lasting, quicker picker-upper. And now try new Bounty with Dawn, available in the paper towel aisle.
There's a brilliant luster hiding behind that tarnish, and Tarnex Tarnish Remover is the ideal way to let it shine. A quick dip or a simple wipe will restore your tarnished and dull silver and silver plate, gold, copper, platinum, even diamonds, and have them shining with a renewed luster. The wipe and rinse formula eliminates tarnish quickly and easily, and that means more time enjoying your things and less time cleaning them. Tarnex. Quick, easy, brilliant.
Tarnex branded products are available at these fine retailers.
Right now on Weather Center Live, Boston, we are keeping our eyes on you and expecting some snowflakes. So this is going to be not a major snowstorm for you in Boston, but you see the snow there on the Charles. You're going to add to that. Here's a look at how much snow is expected as we look live at the left. We are looking at accumulating snow about an inch. You head to the south, couple inches a possibility, and you head a little bit farther to the north and you're out of it. You get up into parts of northern New Hampshire and Maine, you're gonna have a better chance for some of that snow. But generally, it's just gonna be one of those deals where the snowflakes are flying from the sky. Samantha?
Oh yeah, still feeling like winter across the Northeast with that snow moving in late tonight around the evening rush and lasting until tomorrow morning. And then we should start to see a little improvement. But I'll tell you what, they're feeling like winter in the Northeast, and we are feeling like spring with the showers and the thunderstorms across the South, including in Houston, where they have a chance for the thunderstorms into tonight, the showers and rain actually heavy at times on Saturday, and then into hit or miss thunderstorms as we head into Sunday. And I'm telling you, they have had incredible rain the past 30 days across much of Texas. Flash flood watch is in effect until Sunday evening. San Antonio over into Austin and Texarkana as well. And March has been an incredibly heavy rain month for these folks across much of central and eastern Texas. We're talking 5 to 8 inches of rain across the Piney Woods and down into the Houston, Beaumont, Port Arthur area. Incredible amounts of rain. They are now at 200% of average in the Houston area. That means double their average rainfall. So no drought worries for East Texas for sure. Parts of West Texas. There's still some drought concerns here in northern Texas, but they will see a wet pattern over this weekend. In fact, as we take a look at the Big Bend region on up towards San Angelo, we see some heavy downpours right now. That is moving to the northeast, and it's going to continue that direction. So really all across the southeast through Monday, through this weekend, this first weekend of spring, we are dealing with a very wet pattern for us here. Less rain as you move further east, so less than an inch here across the Atlanta area, but you're talking 1 to 2 inches across central Mississippi, Alabama, 2 to 3 inches in the Arklatex, and we see those areas of the yellow and the dark green in central Texas, and that means some heavy rain. So we'll have the rain and thunderstorms today all across Texas, stretching over into Mississippi. Tomorrow as well, pretty much in the same place as it was today, and then Sunday the whole area shifts further east. So Birmingham will get in on it, Atlanta, Greenville, Spartanburg over into Charleston. May even see some scattered thunderstorms here in Jacksonville, the Florida Panhandle as well. So in Atlanta, starting out the first day of spring, which begins today at 6:45 p.m., kind of a foggy start to that. And we will see some peaks of sunshine by the afternoon, I do believe. And then Saturday, a nice one. We're going to be in the mid-70s. It's going to be packed at Piedmont Park out at the zoo. Sunday, though, not the best day for zoo goers because we're going to have the rain moving on in for our Sunday. Temperatures around 60 degrees, so we're back to feeling kind of cool, gray, damp, and the same thing on our Monday as well. So Tuesday, hang in there. Tuesday's looking a little more spring-like, so we'll look forward to having it feel like spring. It's that transition time for us.
No snowflakes on this map.
No snowflakes here. That is
on this
for
page
sure.
Here. Yeah.
Altima is not really delivering winter weather to the deep south, so that's the good news.
But it is delivering a winter punch on the first day of spring here as we officially hit spring later on this afternoon or evening, depending on where you are and which time zone. But here's a look at the Eastern time zone, Washington, D.C. right now.
Yep, it is looking rather wintry still. We'll talk to Seidel coming up.
Sometimes at last doesn't happen at first.
Your dad just kissed my mom.
Turning two worlds into one takes love. Helping protect that world takes State Farm.
It's gonna go fast. Hold on.
You just never know what's going to happen.
Holy this is cold. We know you can't control the weather, so we build things to harness it.
Woo! That was a good one.
That's amazing. Straight above our heads. That's just incredible.
Man, how do we do that? This is where I want to be right now.
Stay tuned for your first day of spring, local on the 8s. Brought to you by Lowe's. Never stop improving.
Lowe's presents How to Make a Friend Speak When She's Speechless.
Wow, Kim, I'm speechless. Your new bathroom looks so beautiful, I can't even talk right now. I literally can't even open my mouth to talk.
Now get the Style Selections Drayton Vanity for $179 at Lowe's.
We make meeting times, lunch times, and conference times. But what we'd rather be making are tea times. Tea times are the official start of what we love to do. The time for shots we'd rather forget, and the ones we'll talk about forever. In Michigan, long days, relaxing weather, and more than 800 pristine courses make for the perfect tea time. Because being able to play all day is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
Lowe's presents How to Install a New Washing Machine with One Finger.
Maybe a little more that way.
Nice.
Now get 10% off major appliances $3.99 and more at Lowe's.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under fair skies. Today, lots of sunshine. High 89. Winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, generally clear. Low 69. Winds south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday, afternoon showers. High 88. Winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Whatever their stickers say, they'll all lose suction because their filters clog. But with our sonic tips oscillating at 5,000 Hertz, only new Dyson Kinetic Science won't lose suction.
Grandpa Bodie, Grandma said you used to be out of control.
Really? I guess I did take some risks. I trained a little bit differently. I was a little too honest sometimes. The media is useless.
You were out of control.
But not always.
I'm excited to use Hydroxycut because I really want to lose weight.
Hey, we're gonna live free.
I lost 40 pounds. Hydroxycut really works.
Hydroxycut is America's #1 selling weight loss supplement brand.
Lose weight your way.
Mix and match gummies, tablets, and drink mix.
Don't let more years go by and continue to pack on the pounds. Start as soon as you can.
Hydroxycut lets you lose weight your way. And go to hydroxycut.com to access the Be Thinner in 30-day starter plan.
From coast to coast, in every state, people all across the nation are learning something new. That the best way to protect their cars, trucks, and SUVs is with WeatherTech floor liners. They're laser measured to perfectly protect your specific vehicle. Front, back, even up the sides. Order yours today at WeatherTech.com or call 1-800-CarMats. WeatherTech floor liners, proudly made in America.
Think you have the fastest internet? Think again. This is Xfinity. This is your current internet provider.
Which do you think is going to download faster?
I'm going to go with what I know. Ready?
Yes.
Download.
Well,
Xfinity is way faster. That's not even fair. And we're done. I'm going to go.
we may have to switch to Xfinity.
Get even more of the speed you need with Xfinity Internet from Comcast. Upgrade to get speeds up to 50 megabits per second for just $10 more a month for 12 months. See for yourself. Call or go online today.
The FDA issued a public notice to doctors and patients concerning serious injuries caused by transvaginal mesh, bladder mesh, pelvic sling, and bladder sling. Please call now if you had one of these devices implanted in the last 5 years. You may be entitled to a cash award. If you had a transvaginal mesh, bladder mesh, pelvic sling, or bladder sling in the last 5 years,
please call 1-855-305-2053 now.
This Sunday,
one man's trash
did the work.
Is another man's totally awesome beer can space heater.
Hi. Brainstormers, premiering Sunday at 9, only on the Weather Channel.
And as spring arrives, we want to see your pictures. This is, we understand, Pearl, enjoying a little Texas sunshine.
Cute little pup trying to catch a few rays before the next storm moves in and the next shower. It's been so wet in Texas lately. And also we have some pretty spring daffodils from Celine in the Atlanta area as those temperatures start to feel a little more spring-like, and we have the spring showers around for sure as we head into spring. I mean, it's clearing out today here in Atlanta, but we did get some showers yesterday, so that's why these daffodils look so perky.
Well, this picture wasn't taken yesterday.
No, not yesterday. Not yesterday. This is more like today here in the Atlanta area. Celine Palm, thanks for sending that in to us at Samantha Moore TV and TWC Chris Warren, because we like to see how you're welcoming in spring. And you know, spring has really varied from year to year. We took a look at the last 5 years of the first day of spring, and this is how things added up, Chris.
And today in Washington, D.C., we're looking at temperatures in the 30s. The past 5 years, much, much warmer than that. In fact, 2010 and 2012, it was in the 70s to start the first day of spring.
And that's what you think of in D.C., spring, cherry blossoms, temperatures in the low to mid 70s. That's kind of what I envision when I think of the first day of spring in D.C. In Philadelphia, you know, a pretty crummy start to spring, and they had a similar pattern to D.C., of course, not that far up the road.
But this is the coldest in the past 6 years, and a similar story in New York. It was cool in 2013, but still 10 degrees warmer than what you're going to have today. In 2010, that was a warm year.
Also in Boston, you would figure with the snowiest season on record, this is the worst start to spring on record, although 2013 was pretty close. It was 39 degrees. So 37 degrees today, definitely the coldest spring we have had in at least 6 years. So they cannot wait for spring to get to Boston. I know they can't.
And right now, it is time to get to the winter weather update here on the Weather Channel, and we are still discussing snowflakes in the Northeast. It is snowing. We have a winter storm on our hands.
We do. Winter Storm Ultima right now impacting the Northeast, and it's not just Ultima, because behind that, we know some more cold air is coming back into the Northeast over the weekend. Let's have a look at this kind of big picture view of Ultima kind of on the national stage. You know, we do so much local stuff. Let's look at a bigger picture, right? So beginning this morning, there, right here is Ultima, and back up in here, let me see if I can get the right graphic here. That is another cold front that's coming down to swoop in and take its place. I'll animate this and show you. Watch how Ultima kind of goes away during the late afternoon and evening hours today. But Samantha, you and I were looking at this. Look at some of these snow showers right back up in here. This is in the wake of that cold front, which would be right about there, ready to come into the Northeast on Ultima's heels.
Okay, and that's Saturday at 5 p.m. and you roll it even further, and you can see how that will move in over the course of the weekend.
It does, right. Another bout of cold air is coming in. This is not going to be the kind of cold that we saw, obviously, in February, because you can't sustain that being early spring by Sunday, first couple days. You have the sun angle, which is going to help warm the ground pretty effectively, or melt snow if there happens to be snow on the ground. But we were talking temperatures still 20 degrees below average over the weekend in the Northeast. Look at these numbers. This is not pleasant. I mean, it really isn't. I mean, I'm looking at this map and I feel for every one of those people who says, I am so sick of winter, because I'm sick of talking about winter in the Northeast in the same spots over and over again. So that's what we're dealing with on Sunday. And let's look in the bigger view again on Sunday to talk about some other places that might see some snow.
Yeah, it's a global weather pattern, so there's more coming, coming from upstream, so so to speak.
Right. You see the jet stream kind of flow parallel to those lines. This is a high altitude wind pattern. But on Sunday, we are also going to be watching a little wiggle move through the upper Midwest. It's hard to see on the maps, and I'm telling you, I was looking at some other maps to try to figure that out, where it comes from. And it's in that northwest flow. It's a little bit of a clipper system that on Sunday will bring some snow to southern Minnesota, parts of Iowa, maybe even Chicago on Sunday night and Monday morning. That could be a rush hour snowy issue for us on your Monday morning, but it doesn't look like a whole lot, but still, snowy time still yet to come in early spring.
There you go. You know, on the first day of spring, it is all about Winter Storm Ultima.
I'm meteorologist Mike Seidel. The snow still coming down here in western Maryland. Interstate 81 is fine at this hour because it is above freezing. We'll check the forecast and give you the good news for those of you who want warmer temperatures next as Weather Center Live continues after your local on the 8s.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under fair skies. Today, lots of sunshine. High 89. Winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, generally clear. Low 69. Winds south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday, afternoon showers. High 88. Winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome to Weather Center Live. It is March 20th, and that means it is the first day of spring. Spring begins today, and we should be seeing warmer temperatures, bees buzzing, spring flowers.
Not the case at all. Instead, wind howling, snow coming down, and millions of people dealing with a winter storm threat right now and into the afternoon. Winter's coming to an end later on this evening in the Northeast. Spring's beginning, but winter still definitely in control.
Yes, it is. Looking here on the right side of your screen, the radar showing the snow that is moving from the southwest to the northeast, and that where that rain snow line is, it's kind of a narrow band. And boy, there's some good snow to the northwest side of this line.
And that's what you're seeing in the blue. Generally, that is where snow's coming down. There is some exceptions, and we're gonna have expert analysis to let you know why when you look at some of this blue, the blue that's moving, it's not necessarily reaching the ground, but it will, and we'll let you know when that's going to happen, and ending up with a few inches of snow. Some places, several inches of snow.
Yeah, not a bad snowfall for the first day of spring. Meteorologist Mike Seidel is in Hagerstown, Maryland, where it was coming down pretty good earlier, kind of a wet, sloppy snow, right, Mike?
It's a wet snow. We were at 33, we're up to 34. The roads were fine. Interstate 81, people making their way towards Harrisburg, back towards Hagerstown. So no problems out here on the interstate at this point, as we've seen all morning. It was a little slushy at times on the sides and in the middle, but once the sun came up, that was all she wrote with this high sun angle. And the fact that temperatures are above freezing, yes, indeed, about as gloppy and wet as you get. Look at that. Look at that. You can make a great snowball. By the way, Washington County schools didn't even delay today. Here in Hagerstown, they went in. If they had missed today, they would have had to make that up on spring break. They've already used up their allotment this winter of 5 snow days. Before today, they've had a little over 29 inches of snow, and a seasonal average here is about 32. So with this 3 inches, it's going to put them right at average for this time of the year. Samantha?
More accurate.
Mike, that is good to know that they're out of school, that they had to go to school today. They didn't waste that snow day. They can hopefully find some snow to make some snowballs when they get home from school. usual later on today. I know you're going to be busy throwing snowballs at people the next hour or so. Let's take a look at the hourly and show you when more snow is coming down and when it's going to end for you here in Hagerstown. We're going to see that rain-snow mix kind of starting to transition over at 2, and the little cooler air kind of squeezing a few more snowflakes out in late afternoon for that evening commute. And then by the time, if you're hitting the road around 5, 6 o'clock, it should just be very overcast and gray here in Hagerstown. And you can see most of the precip to come still here to the north and the east of the Chesapeake Bay. So places like Manchester over to Edgewood could end up seeing a couple of inches of snow, and then we're talking around an inch or so in Chestertown as we head in through the rest of today. And then things should start to taper off as we head into spring at 6:45. So Mike, you got your wet snowball there. It is that wet spring kind of snow, but things will be looking up as the day wears on, right?
Yes, things will melt off a little bit. There's still a little slush on some of these streets, but for the most part, it's melting off. It's just the grass and the car tops. And then tomorrow, again, as you mentioned, a nice day here, pushing the upper 50s after some morning fog. So by dinner time tomorrow, in 95% of this will be gone, unless you've shoveled a pile or made a snowman. This is going to melt very, very quickly tomorrow with the sun in the afternoon, upper 50s, and that sun angle as we get into the first full day of spring. So a pretty delightful weekend. Albeit the fact that we're going into it here on a Friday morning in a wintry way as winter winds down. 6:45 Eastern this evening with the vernal equinox.
Everybody's going to be ready for it. Thank you so much, Mike. We sure appreciate that. And then, of course, all this is moving into the Northeast. So, of course, Philly being affected, New York being affected. We're going to go over to Greg and Chris right now with more on that.
And we're looking at additional snowfall to come down, 3 to 5 inches in some areas on top of what has already come down, Dr. Postel. Will you walk us through what you're seeing right now and how you think the next couple of hours are going to play out?
Right. We're not going to expect any accumulation in D.C. anymore because the rain-snow line has pushed north of them. If you look at this map, you can see where the southern edge of the snow accumulation we expect is right in here. Baltimore maybe gets an inch. Philly, a couple of inches, 3 to 5, I'd say, on the lower end of that, closer to 3. But the idea is that you can see the rain-snow line slowly moving its way north. Right now, Reagan is 38 and Dulles is 34. Both are a mixture of rain and snow. We're farther to the north in northern Maryland, in particular in Hagerstown, where Mike was. It is still snowing out there. But let me show you this other way of looking at the rain-snow line and its movement, looking at what's called the correlation coefficient. It's just another fancy radar tool that we use to detect the shape of the falling precipitation particles. Where the shapes are nearly uniform, snow or rain, it's showing up here on this depiction as red. So for example, right up in here, it is snow. This area right here, all that red there, that's telling us is snow, and all this red down here is telling us is rain.
So essentially, what's going on here is the radar sending out a signal, and it gets a return back after it hits something in the sky. If it keeps getting the same thing, we can infer based on temperature that it's rain right there. If it keeps getting the same thing to the south where it's cold, it's snow. But when it gets something, hey, we got something back different, then
that's right.
That's something else going on. And
it's
that's
probably
the yellow,
a mixture.
Right?
It's a mixture. That's exactly right. So it's measuring sort of the shape, the vertical and the horizontal dimensions of the precipitation particles. And when they're nearly uniform up in here, that is snow, and they are nearly uniform down here, which is rain, and in between that bright sort of area of yellow, telling you have some odd shapes in there, suggesting there's a mixture of rain and snow.
And that's where the changeover is happening because you know it's going from north or from south to north. The rain is moving into where the snow was.
That's right. And farther to the north where the snow is, it's coming down pretty hard in places. Scranton it is as well. Trenton only light snow. New York not yet. Although look at the radar, you'd think, wait a minute, it's not snowing in New York. It sure looks like it, right? And you look over here, shouldn't it be snowing in Jersey and southeastern New York State? Nope. The reason why is because the air is so dry. It's evaporating before it hits the ground.
The dry air's eating the snow before it gets down there, essentially.
That's exactly right. It's snowing aloft. It's just not making it to the ground. But let's time it out for everybody going across the I-95 corridor. Philly, I'm not sure you'll go over to rain. New York, you won't. Your snow will move in soon. And then everything will be over by 8 or 9 o'clock tonight. And this winter storm ultimately heads out to sea early in the morning tomorrow. And it is gone. Unfortunately, colder weather to follow on Sunday.
All right, Dr. Postel, thank you. Let's go to Samantha.
Well, you know, our live coverage of Winter Storm Ultima moves north to Philadelphia, and snow this late in the season is not unusual. Philly's daily snowfall record for this date, March 20th, is 9.6 inches.
Sometimes, bigger is better. But other times, bigger just gets in the way. At Brother, we know the biggest printer isn't always the best fit for every office. So we've come up with a bigger idea. Don't supersize, optimize. See how we can help you put the right printers in all the right places and help reduce your costs. Now that's big. Brother, at your side. Learn more at don'tsupersizeoptimize.com.
I'm the protector of my patio. Killing weeds where they grow. A barrier forms so weeds can't appear. Serious weed prevention up to a year.
Roundup Max Control 365.
So I'm fighting weeds on opening day and preventing weeds while I get away. Weeds stay dead as we carve this beast, and they still aren't back when I cook this feast.
Roundup Max Control 365.
One more time, let me make it clear. With no more weeds, it's your year.
Push it. Push it. Push it real good. Ooh, baby, baby. Baby, baby.
If you're Salt and Peppa, you tell people to push it.
Push it real good.
It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
I'm pushing it real good. You know those neighbors always making weird inventions out of junk in their garage? We just gave them their own TV show.
Come on, Wind.
I think I just made Mother Nature my bitch.
One man's trash.
This is perfect.
Is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier.
Brainstormers, premiering Sunday at 9, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under fair skies. Today, abundant sunshine. High 88. Winds south-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear. Low 69. Winds south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday, afternoon showers. High 88. Chance of rain 50%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Just never know what's going to happen.
Woo! That was a good one.
The Fiat 500 isn't alone anymore. It's part of a big Italian family.
Think fixing your windshield is a big hassle? Not with Safelite. This family needed their windshield replaced, but their daughter's heart was set on going to the zoo. So we said, if you need Safelite to come to the zoo, we'll come to the zoo. Oh yeah, we can fix that. Only Safelite can fix your windshield anywhere in the U.S. with our exclusive mobile glass shops and our one-of-a-kind True Seal technology for a reliable bond.
Thanks so much.
Service that fits your schedule.
Hey.
That's another Safelite advantage.
Safelite repair, Safelite replace.
Introducing the new Can-Am Spyder F3. With a cruising riding position and the most advanced vehicle stability system in the industry, you'll ride with a feeling of complete freedom and confidence. Visit your Can-Am dealer and test drive the Spyder F3 today.
Do you have something for pain?
I have Bayer aspirin.
I'm not having a heart attack. It's my back.
I mean Bayer Back and Body. It works great for pain.
Bayer Back and Body provides effective relief for your tough pain.
Better?
Yeah. Thanks for the tip.
Looky Live. Good morning, Philadelphia. The snow has been falling in the city of brotherly love. Coming down pretty good, too.
Yeah, we're going to see some accumulating snow in Philadelphia, but we're going to watch temperatures warm up later tonight. So it's not going to last too long. Shouldn't be with you all weekend, but looking at a couple more inches at least.
So it looks like it'll be tapering off about the time spring starts this evening. 6:45 is when we officially herald it in. And hundreds of flights canceled in and out of the United States this morning, including dozens in Philadelphia.
Winter storm Ultima causing school closures and delays in Philly. And Scott Newell is there. Scott.
Well, the snow coming down pretty heavily in Philadelphia, as it will throughout the day. This is a day-long event, and it's expected to go till at least 8 o'clock in the evening. So we're in front of the Philadelphia Mint, and this is Independence Mall. And as you can see on the grassy areas, the snow is sticking. Not quite an inch down here. It's very wet snow. But if you look right here at the sidewalk, you can see that even though these haven't been treated, because we've had warmer weather here for the past week or so, the snow is melting. And fortunately for people who are driving on the streets, they have been treated in addition to just having it warm. And actually the traffic is moving quite well, but people still have to be careful. Now, I want to bring in a guest here, Lynn Borton, and you're from where?
Washington, D.C.
Tell me, you have had a rough winter in Washington. You've got more snow here. What do you think of this weather?
I think today's spring, so we're on the upswing.
But you got snow.
I know. But, I think, the poor people of Boston notwithstanding, I think weather is a good reminder that we're not in charge.
Well, that's a good point. It's coming down from up there. Lynn, thank you so much. Nice to see you visiting, and I hope the weather gets better because it's not that great down in Washington as well.
I know. It'll be a bad drive home tonight, but that's okay.
All right. Lynn, thanks so much. So that's the situation here in Philadelphia. People who are going to be going home in the evening, it's going to be a little bit of a rough commute. Could have some freezing rain at that point. So make sure if you're out traveling, just be mindful of conditions. And the best advice we can always give you is just slow down. You don't have to be anywhere that fast. Back to you.
Good advice, Scott. Thank you so much. And our coverage of Winter Storm Ultima is going to be moving further north to New York as the storm moves further north this afternoon.
And we're going to certainly keep an eye on that for you as we look now at Philadelphia where that snow's coming down. Also in New York, March 20th, that's today, almost 5 inches of snow. That's the record for this day. We're going to let you know your chances getting close to that record are going to be in New York.
And that record has stood the test of time. I mean, since 1958. This is New York right now. We'll talk about the timing, when you can expect to see that snow move in, how much we think is going to, hit the city, and how much in the burbs, and the timing of all that coming up. And we're watching it on the radar right now where you can see the blue there. That is snow. Not all of it's hitting the ground, though. The dew points are pretty low, so a lot of it's evaporating before it actually hits the ground. Chris.
Not making it all the way to the ground, but it's going to. It's just a matter of time. Once the atmosphere gets saturated, those snowflakes will make it all the way to the ground on what is the first and last day, first day of spring, last day of winter. We've been talking a lot about this amongst ourselves, but this is a sure sign of springtime here.
Daffodils always kind of are a symbol of spring for me. These daffodils come from Celine Palm in the Atlanta area. Thanks for tweeting those to us. And this is Pearl enjoying a little break in the rain here. Little Texas sun, because it's been so rainy there lately. Please tweet more of your pictures at Samantha Moore TV and at TWC.
And we've noticed some, so we're going to try to get more on here throughout the course of this hour. Weather Center Live tracking Winter Storm Ultima. Next.
The wizarding world of Harry Potter, now with Diagon Alley and the Hogwarts Express. Come and live it. Universal Orlando Resort.
All cars are racing against time. Some are just doing better than others. Right now, buy 3 Firestone Destination LE2 or Affinity Touring tires and get one free at Firestone Complete Auto Care. Whatever you drive a Firestone.
You totaled your brand new car. Nobody's hurt, but there will still be pain. It comes when your insurance company says they'll only pay 3/4 of what it takes to replace it. What are you supposed to do? Drive 3/4 of a car? Now, if you had Liberty Mutual new car replacement, you'd get your whole car back. I guess they don't want you driving around on 3 wheels. Smart.
New car replacement is just one of the features that comes standard with a base Liberty Mutual policy. And for drivers with accident forgiveness, rates won't go up due to your first accident. Learn more by calling 1-844-578-3350. Switch to Liberty Mutual and you could save up to $423. For a free quote today, call Liberty Mutual Insurance at 1-844-578-3350. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
You know those neighbors always making weird inventions out of junk in their garage? We just gave them their own TV show.
Come on, Wind. I think I just made Mother Nature my bitch.
One man's trash.
This is perfect.
Is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier.
Brainstormers, premiering Sunday at 9.
Family. They're the ones who keep us warm inside, making us smile on a rough day. A part of our memories, both small and big. And through the years, natural gas appliances are there for you, just like family. Extend your family with reliable, energy-saving natural gas appliances and get up to $1,750 cash back when you switch. Florida Public Utilities. Feel the love.
This is Kevin, returning to his childhood home. This is the smell of baked pears, making him feel warm. Then pie crust, as he wonders if it's too soon to ask what's for dessert. Now vanilla, reminding him of pep talks with mom and slightly inappropriate advice from dad. New Airwick Life Scents in Mom's Baking, the first constantly changing fragrance that acts like real life and says, "Welcome home, Kevy Bear." This is him, secretly loving the name Kevy Bear. Airwick, home is in the air.
This Sunday.
One man's trash.
This is perfect.
Is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier.
Brainstormers, premiering Sunday, March 22nd, only on the Weather Channel.
Stay tuned for your first day of spring, local on the 8th. Brought to you by Lowe's. Never stop improving.
Lowe's presents How to Make a Friend Speak When She's Speechless.
Wow, Kim, I'm speechless. Your new bathroom looks so beautiful, I can't even talk right now. I literally can't even open my mouth to talk.
Now get the Style Selections Drayton Vanity for $179 at Lowe's.
The FDA issued a public notice to doctors and patients concerning serious injuries caused by transvaginal mesh, bladder mesh, pelvic sling, and bladder sling. Please call now if you had one of these devices implanted in the last 5 years. You may be entitled to a cash award. If you had a transvaginal mesh, bladder mesh, pelvic sling, or bladder sling in the last 5 years,
please call 1-866-686-7952 now.
Lowe's presents How to Install a New Washing Machine with One Finger.
Maybe a little more that way. Nice.
Now get 10% off major appliances $3.99 and more at Lowe's.
Currently in our area, 81 degrees under sunny skies. Today, abundant sunshine. High 88. Winds south-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear. Low 69. Winds south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday, afternoon showers. High 88. Chance of rain 50%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Good morning, New York City. In fact, it is winter's last blast as spring begins today. Some 35 million of us are under winter storm alerts, including here in the Big Apple until the overnight hours. Snow is moving through there around noontime today, and it will be coming down heavy at times. As much as 5 inches could fall from Altima, with temperatures just above freezing. So we'll talk about how this is affecting you as you head into spring. And of course, Altima, the root word being ultimate, meaning the last winter storm of spring. And you can see here some impressive amounts possibly, especially in the suburbs around New York City, but we're talking 4 inches or so of snow around Long Island and scattered around the suburbs around New York City. And then as we get into the weekend, I don't think it'll stick around too long because temperatures will be warming up on the first full day of spring on Saturday, the first Saturday of spring, making it 52. So it's pretty close to average for this time of year. And then we are on the chilly side again again with the next blast moves in. So here's the first cold shot that's moving through as we speak. A little moderation on Saturday, and then boom, another plunge moves on in as we head into Sunday. So definitely reinforcing cold air that's going to be moving in. Maybe not quite as cold as the air associated with Altima, but definitely on the chilly side. So there is today 16 degrees below average in New York City. Getting into tomorrow, we're close to average across much of New England. Still a little chilly there in Bangor, Maine, with 5 degrees below average. And then another blast moves in, and we're almost 23 degrees below average as we head into Sunday in Bangor. 16 below average in Boston on Sunday at freezing. And then as we head into New York City, still around 10 degrees below average for your high temperature on Sunday as that cold air moves in, and those overnight lows tomorrow morning and into Sunday morning and even into Monday morning, staying very, very chilly. So nippy at night with a little bit of moderation during the daytime, especially on Saturday across much of the Northeast. So definitely this chilly air settling in here in Portland. Little moderation tomorrow, but it is still very cold, especially across northern and eastern Maine. Okay, all this cold air, all the snow really affecting travel. We're going to go over to Chris with more on that.
Yeah, and we're going to start off with a look at the individual airports that are seeing some delays right now. And as you look, we can see different colors on the map. The green are no problem. It's the orange and the red where there are issues. Now, you might not necessarily be having the weather-related issues at your location if you have delays. It could be where you're trying to get to. If you're trying to get to Newark or Philly, you could have some issues as far as how long those delays are. Here's a look, and Newark is the big one. Almost 4-hour delays, and this is mainly for flights coming into Newark. You also have some low clouds in Atlanta, and we're dealing with about 30-minute delays in Philadelphia as well. So it is a bit of a challenge in some areas trying to get into the Northeast, but it's the roads. Getting to the airport is not as bad as it could be in the Northeast. The reason for that, it's so warm. Here's a live look at Philadelphia on the left. This is Washington, D.C. on the right. Traffic is moving just fine on the right. It looks like we're at a stoplight on the left in Philly. But we have been seeing that snow coming down. Roads are warm enough that that snow is melting on contact. Some of the colder surfaces or some of the grassy areas, it is accumulating. But so far, it looks like things are not a huge issue. D.C. should not see any accumulations out of this. However, a few inches, a possibility in Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's all from Winter Storm Altima, crashing the spring party all along the East Coast. And when you look at the latest measurable snowfall date for Washington, D.C., it's really pretty late, all the way to April 28th.
And remember, spring is a transition season. You get a little taste of summer, and then you get a little taste of winter from time to time. We've had a lot of winters so far. Washington, D.C., your average last date of measurable snow is already passed, but you can, as you mentioned, Samantha, almost May still see some snowflakes, but that's well over 100 years ago when that happened.
That is a long, long time ago, that record. It's called seasonal whiplash. Warm, cold, warm, cold.
That's spring.
Okay, ladies, whenever you're ready.
Thank you. Thank you. I got this.
Oh, no, I'll get it.
Let me get it. I don't want you to pay for this.
It's not happening, honey.
Let her get it. She got her safe driving bonus check from Allstate last week, and it's her treat.
What about a tip?
Oh, here's one. Get an Allstate agent.
Nice.
Switch today and get 2 safe driving bonus checks a year for driving safely, only from Allstate. Call 866-788-0900 now.
Here we go. Hold on, man. Is that a leak up there? That's a trip.
Okay.
Now that's a leak. That is a leak. And if you don't have Allstate Renters Insurance, game over.
Protect your valuables from things like water damage for as low as $4 a month when you add renter's insurance to your Allstate auto policy. Call 866-788-0900 now. And if you're a safe driver, you can save up to 45%.
Just a few more ways Allstate is changing car insurance for good.
Call a local Allstate agent today.
You've probably seen images of animal abuse before. And if you're anything like me, you might have wanted to turn away. Because the thought of an innocent animal being harmed is very painful to see, and it's even harder to believe. But the images of animal cruelty are real, and they are undeniable. Behind every one of these images are the eyes of a living and breathing, suffering animal. They're depending on us to rescue them. If we turn away, they lose all hope. So I'm asking you not to turn away. Because as painful as these images are to watch, they shed light on a disturbing reality that so many animals face every single day of their lives. This is why I'm asking you to join me in helping these animals right now. Please visit this website or call the number on your screen right now and join the ASPCA with your $18 monthly donation. It's only 60 cents a day. And I can tell you, your donation will help animals immediately. Rescue them from terribly abusive situations, giving them medical attention, food, and loving care. Please make that call or go online to join in the next 10 minutes. We will send you the photo of an animal you're helping and this ASPCA t-shirt free with our thanks. The more I learn about animal abuse, the more I realize we cannot pretend that it's not happening. And if we all do our part to help, we can save the lives of so many animals who are hurting. Please, go online or call now.
Hello, America, and good morning. Temperatures this weekend will reach into the 70s.
Currently in our area, 81 degrees under sunny skies. Today, abundant sunshine. High 88. Winds south-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear. Low 69. Winds south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday, afternoon showers. High 88. Chance of rain 50%. Here's our 7-day outlook.